Hi, it's Stephen Molnar here, and I'm joined by Conrad Bobolak, who's the CEO and founder of Investors Prime. Conrad, a lot of the clients that have been to your real estate investing weekend, the Fast Track, have had some really great results. Do you want to just tell us a bit about what they've learnt and what they've done with it, please?
Yeah, certainly. And look, when I structured the Real Estate Fast Track weekend, what I've done is I thought about all the things I've learned over the last 15 years in real estate, and I've condensed it down into 2 days, which is quite incredible. Now, originally when I actually did this event, I was running the event over 3 days. And it was 3 days in a classroom environment, and people got a lot of good content out of it. There's a lot of speakers on different topics, all to do with teaching people essentially how to build and structure a multi-million-dollar property portfolio from scratch. What I've done in the last few years is I've added a twist to the event. And what I've done is the Saturday is actually a classroom environment, but the Sunday, what we do is we take people out of the classroom environment and we get them out into the field with myself, Cameron Fisher from Changing Places Real Estate, and yourself, and we actually walk around on development sites and analyze the market real time live, which I think for most people is that missing ingredient and the difference between them taking action or leaving an event with a lot of information, but at the same time, a lot of confusion, which a lot of people do. And that's why I think these events have been so successful. And what I want to do is take a few minutes just to give you a bit of an understanding of what you can expect from this 2-day event. And also, I want to give you a very special bonus at the very end. So watch this video to the very end. Now, in terms of the event itself, there's a number of topics or key distinctions that I'll be covering throughout the 2 days. Number one is I'm going to challenge your current underlying belief system and about ownership and leverage. You see, a lot of wealthy people don't own property directly in their own names. So if you've got properties in your own name, you probably already stuffed it up. Most wealthy individuals and sophisticated property investors buy properties through other structures like family trusts, discretionary trusts, and corporate trustees. And we'll talk about the advantages and disadvantages of that as well. But the most important thing is it will definitely affect your lending and the ability to buy a lot of property. So if you've got property in your own name, you definitely have to attend this event to find out what limitations you've already set on your own property portfolio just by owning property in your own name. Number two is I'm going to show you why finance is the reason you invest in property, and property just happens to be a wealth creation vehicle. Finance is the only reason you invest in property. So you can leverage property up to 95% plus lender's mortgage insurance, which is incredible when you consider they can borrow so much money against real estate, more than any other asset in Australia. So I'm going to show you how to best structure your finance. And if you've been following my career or if you've read my books, my background is all banking and finance. Number three, I'm going to show you how sophisticated investors utilize structure and leverage to create true financial freedom. So I'm going to show you how to actually get money out of your property portfolio, how to create a system that's very predictable, that's measurable, where you can be sustaining an income from your property portfolio, which is the reason we invest in property in the first place. Number four, I'm going to show you how to correctly build, structure and automate your multi-million-dollar property portfolio from scratch. So whether you're buying your first investment property, your second or your third, I'm going to teach you a system that I've used myself and my clients where it's completely passive. I mean, there's no point doing something and being, involved in it full time, almost like getting a second part-time job. The most important thing about building wealth through property is that it's done once, done correctly, and it's passive as well, meaning there's very little involvement on your behalf. I'm going to show you how to I'm going to teach you the exact methodology to identify the best performing suburbs and the suitability of different properties within those suburbs. And that's what all Sunday's about. We're going to take you out of the classroom environment and show you key suburbs in Melbourne, areas we should be investing, areas that you should be staying away from. I'm also going to share with you the best suburbs for 2016 and beyond that I think represent the best value for money and where the growth will be occurring. And that's all Sunday. I'm also going to show you how to conduct unbiased due diligence and cash flow analysis on properties. And on Sunday, I'll be with you as well as Cameron Fisher from Changing Places Real Estate, who's also a valuer. So we're going to give you a bit of an insight on how to establish the price point of different properties. How do you know that you're overpaying or underpaying for an investment property? Those things are crucial for you to understand as an investor. Also, I'm going to show you how to develop an all-encompassing investment plan that's specifically tailored to your specific needs and your situation. There's an old saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And this is a very important part of this event because everyone from this event will walk away with a specific plan of action. so you know exactly what to do on Monday when you leave the event. The most important thing about investing is to get started. I see so many investors out there reading books, going to events, and really not taking a lot of action and spending years watching the market going up continuously. I'm also going to show you how to create consistent monthly income from your property portfolio. And I'm going to show you, not only that, I'm going to show you 3 different ways to create income, and I'm going to show you 5 different ways to buy property with no money down, which is quite incredible for a lot of people that attend this event. So the Saturday is basically property finance, cash flow analysis. Sunday is the exciting part of the event where we take you out of the classroom environment onto the road. And I'm going to actually show you kind of a breakdown of kind of projects you can expect to see at these events. Now, depending on when you attend the event, these projects will change from time to time, mainly because I've got access to over 3,000 properties at any one time, and I can only showcase 5, 6, 7 projects at these events. The most important thing about the event is that there will be a lot of content, a lot of information that will be delivered. And also there is nothing that you can buy during the event. So you can leave your credit card at home, unless you want to buy a coffee or lunch or something. There is nothing you can buy at the event or sign at the event. So this is a purely educational event. Because there is so much content, what I'm also going to do is give you the whole manual for the event on Sunday, so you can review your notes over and over. Not only that, what I've done is when you attend the event in 2016, I'm going to give you a home study that was recorded in 2015, which is still 95% current. And you can take that with you, and you're going to get that in a digital version, so you can watch all the videos over and over and over. And that's going to be given to you on Sunday absolutely free, which is quite incredible. So you walk away with virtually 10 hours of video contents, as well as a manual. I think the manual's got 265 pages of PowerPoint slides. Because it's very important for me that when you walk away from the event, you can go back and review the information over and over and over. You know, repetition, they say, is the mother of skill. And I'm a big fan of reviewing information, going over things over and over, especially the checklist that I'll be giving you and a lot of the methodology that I'll be introducing you as well. So you'll get all that on the USB key as my gift to you just for attending the event, which is pretty cool. In terms of my background, I'm not going to bore you to death with what I've done. I'll do that at the event, but I am a real estate agent, mortgage broker. My background is banking and finance. I'm also the director of Investors Prime Real Estate and an author of Australian Property Finance Made Simple, which you can buy right now at all major bookshops and Amazon. You can probably get it on eBay for $10 or $32.95 retail. So basically, these are some of the projects that we'll be visiting, and these will change, like I said, from time to time. This is an amazing development in St Kilda, in Fitzroy Street. As you can see there, these are boutique developments, and what I do is I choose a combination of apartments and townhouses because I want to showcase different types of properties in Melbourne. The areas that we go to are key growth areas in Melbourne. So these are some of the best suburbs currently in Melbourne in terms of capital growth potential, as well as rental yield. Another area is Brighton. This is a development off the plan consisting of 7 apartments in 98 Aisling Street in Brighton. We're also going to go to Glen Iris, another great suburb in Melbourne, top 10 suburbs. This is an off the plan project that's due to complete in just under 2 years. We're going to go to Chelsea, go down Beach Road, have a look at some of the up and coming suburbs like Aspendale, Edithvale and Chelsea, and talk about the pros and cons of those areas. We're also going to go right down to Mornington, which is 56 k's from the city, and talk about the pros and cons of investing in areas, not just 3 or 4, 5 k's from the city, but what if you go really far out from the city? What are the advantages of investing in something like this? Is there enough capital growth to justify you putting your money there versus an area that's closer to the city? All those things will be discussed at the event in detail, which is quite incredible. So really what we're going to do at the event is what I like to call the investor's pyramid. You know, I'm going to give you a lot of knowledge. You're definitely going to walk away with a lot of notes and a lot of knowledge. Number 2 is we're going to develop a very specific investment plan. So you're going to walk away with an investment plan that's tailored towards your specific set of circumstances. There's going to be definitely a lot of time spent just on finance. And I think finance is the most neglected part of education today in Australia. And I'm going to show you things like how to pay off your home loan, you know, in 15 years or less rather than 30 years. I'm going to show you 12 ways you can supercharge your borrowing capacity. That you can buy more property than you thought was possible. I'm also going to talk about buying properties in different structures rather than your own name. Coming from a banking background, I'll talk about strategies that the rich use to amass a large property portfolio that very few people know about, and how they utilize structures and how the differences between buying property in your own name versus structure. So on Sunday, we talk about property due diligence, negotiation, and transaction. So it's quite incredible. And effectively what will happen during the 2-day event is your paradigms will shift. And ultimately what you want to do is you want to create your belief system and a paradigm shift where you become a sophisticated investor, what I like to call as the smart money, which always, if you look at the property cycle, for example, where people buy property, the smart money always comes in at the stealth phase of the market, usually when the market's flat, where you can negotiate better terms and discounts. Then you've got the institutional investors, which need very clear signals that the market's going up to do something. And then you've got the general public, which usually enter the market at the peak of the market and they exit at the bottom of the market. Stephen, most investors that I've come across in the last 10 years who buy at the peak of the market usually sell their property within 3 to 5 years, and they actually lose money on the transaction after considering agents' fees, commissions, associated expenses, and capital gain tax, which is fairly sad, where they could have done much better. So what I want to do during the event is, my objective is to expose you to a lot of different strategies, but also I want you to have a paradigm shift and shift away from what the public does and become a sophisticated property investor. And that's really what my objective is. And that's why these events have been so successful. And that's why so many people are getting such great results during the events.
Great. Well, thanks for that, Conrad. And if you'd like further information about the Fast Track Weekend, just click on the link below.
Thank you.
Thanks.